What's up, guys? Thanks for checking out the pod. This episode is brought to you by Color Concepts, your one-stop shop for all your powder coating and paint needs. Make sure to check them out on Facebook and Instagram, and if you're in the Southwest Florida area and need some work done, make sure to give them a call. All right, let's get back into this pod. Hey guys, this episode is also brought to you by the Branded Babes Boutique. If you're looking for a new fit or any Western wear, this is the place to shop. They've got bags, wallets, clothing, accessories, and even something for us guys out there. Make sure to check them out on all the socials. You guys know what to do. All right, let's get back into this pod. All right, guys, a little meditation music for you.
Some of us might need some meditation after this.
We are doing an emergency podcast tonight. It is July 3rd, 4th of July Eve. And for some reason, we have a day off tomorrow in the middle of the week. So
4-day weekend, actually.
For some of us. Yeah, I got to work Friday.
Yeah, some of us got
Who is going to work on Friday? Let's be honest here.
Not me. What are you trying to say here, man?
You know, some of us got to go to work Friday, you know.
But
the county work.
Yeah,
they
rely on me.
But we needed to have an emergency pod. I've called the boys together. We got Taylor with us, subbing in for Harley. She's too good for us tonight, I guess. Emergency pod because we got big news. Does anyone want to tell me what's going on?
I think we should start with the most upset person here.
Who's the most upset person here?
Mr. McFly over there.
The Democrat.
I feel so bad because people are going to listen to this thinking we're just talking about what's happening, but we just talk about our personal problems here. So what were you saying about...
I mean, it's not like our opinions are going to change anything.
No, of course
we're all screwed.
This is Charlie's venting channel.
Yeah. We broadcast our conversations to the public. That is all we do.
At least I listen to them.
Oh, yeah.
We do have listeners, you know.
But the big news that hit the airwaves as of yesterday is the Redneck Mud Park is officially shut down. It is no more. The post came through. My buddy Nick actually texted me, and that's how I found out. Is he sent me the screenshot, and then
Color Concepts, Nick?
Yeah.
Oh, good guy.
And then I went and read the post, and basically what they said is they are closing down the quote-unquote mud park and are turning it into a campground
for the family,
for families and
side-by-sides
and four-wheelers only. There's going to be no more events there for the foreseeable future.
So the grand opening of that is the actual date.
The date it would have been for the November event.
Yep.
Which
is the same date?
It's the same date, cool. Which is kind of weird to me. So that's the reason we're podding tonight, is just to talk about it. I know... At the risk of sounding cringy, I was pretty heartbroken about it yesterday. I think a bunch of people were, honestly, because that's our hometown bog. It's where this all started for me personally. And to see it closed, it's crazy, you know? I mean, I knew it would come to this at some point, but yesterday was definitely... It blindsided, I think, everybody.
Slap right in the face.
Right in the face. Now, the cool thing, and I keep trying to tell myself this, is if I want to go to that property, we probably can. It's just going to be for riding.
You can probably count me out on that.
And I think, most people, I think, are not seeing what they're doing is helpful or anything. So, and the worst part about it, in my opinion, is... You know, for South Florida, that was one of 2 mud parks left down here. And Logan's already laughing. We're trying to be, a little serious, I guess. But
no, Logan can't ever take anything
I know, he doesn't take anything seriously. But as I was saying, with this closure of this mud park, we only have 1 mud park in South Florida left. That's it. Plant Bamboo.
In South Florida, yeah.
In South Florida. So, definitely a little scary. I hate to see him go because over the years we've watched many parks go down this same road.
And when they do, they don't open back up.
And they never do.
Especially for some of us that have been going for over 10.
Yeah, I mean, I think I added it up. I think I've been going for 12 years.
Sounds about right.
To Redneck. So definitely pretty heartbreaking, man. And the worst part about it is even if you want to go there, because they're trying to do this, like kind of how River Ranch does, where you buy into the property or whatever.
A membership.
Yeah,
Memberships. But they're not allowing any mega trucks or swamp buggies, which I think is what pisses me off the most.
Yeah, it kind of blows my
whole
mind
thing.
as well because, man, you see these side-by-sides now. Most of these guys are running these Can-Ams, these X3s and stuff with them turbos on them. It's more dangerous to be running around a park running 60 on a side-by-side
I
than
totally
it is in
agree.
any mega truck or buggy.
Well, and also the size of these things. I mean, they're the size of a lifted truck. You know, they cost as much as a lifted truck, and you know you can bring that, but you can't bring a truck.
Yeah,
You know,
it doesn't make no sense.
And then the other problem I have, I mean, there's a lot to get into here. I don't even know if we'll cover it all in one episode, but if you look at the layout of the park, if you guys have ever been there, you've got the Pine Island Sound, which is your quote-unquote main mud hole. That whole section of the park is useless now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally big, gaping, you know, old rock quarries is what it kind of looks like. But they were the main holes for the big trucks and buggies. And I don't see a use for them with side-by-sides, four-wheelers. So you're kind of throwing away probably a good 100, 200 acres right there.
They'll
I
bu-
will
just
say
such a
though,
big open
at the
area.
same
Yeah.
time, the March event, like main mud hole, was clearly dry. They weren't.
Yeah,
pumping
they weren't
water.
caring
They
about
were
it.
giving side by sides and four wheelers an opportunity
Yes.
to try to
Yes.
cut across
You're
main
right.
mud hole.
You're right.
To get to the other side to Pine Island
You
Sound.
think that's what that was for?
I don't-
That's like a
I think
trial
it was-
run?
No,
I don't know.
No, because everybody was crying about the water trucks not moving. The
Yep.
buggy wash wasn't on.
Yeah,
it
they
was
had
dry.
to.
It was,
Dude,
you know,
it was like till
dusty.
mid-Saturday until they
Yeah.
kicked the buggy wash on. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it
You
wasn't
know.
a typical.
Well, that
it
thing
wasn't
was
a Trucks
on-
Gone Wild event.
Yeah.
No.
You know,
And so-
it wasn't.
To add to that, so you got that part of the park that's useless.
Which I think they'll end up backfilling that.
If
you
they
ask
if
me.
they do. And here's the other thing. You have a huge racetrack course that was built
Worldwide.
to cater to Trucks Gone Wild, these big mega truck races. That's now useless, in my opinion.
What are you
Yeah,
gonna
you
race
can take
RC cars?
yeah, you can take side by side
Side-by-side?
shit
race
on
side-
there,
they'll
but
put,
like
side by sides racing if they even allow
if
that.
if you read some of these comments where they're replying back to people, there's no races happening there
And
of
you know,
any kind.
And you know, speaking of that, that doesn't just like put a damper on us, but that also knocks the event off for them guys.
Oh,
too,
and those
right?
guys are losing. If you talk to anyone that races those trucks, they say it is harder and harder to find places to go race now.
I haven't
mean-
even called my one buddy that
Yeah,
races.
you
I haven't
should
even
talk to him.
I haven't
man.
talked to him
This
yet.
is
I
another
need to call
place,
him.
another place that they can't run these trucks now. So you got that's what? How many acres do you think that is? This is a couple football fields right there, right? Okay, so we knock that off. What's left? We've got the back holes, which are four-wheeler friendly. That's a good place to ride. The trails that you can ride in
The
a matter of
trails-
30 minutes.
There's- Yeah,
that's
you-
going to be the biggest
You
thing.
could honestly ride that whole park in
Yeah.
maybe an hour and a half on a side by side.
And then you have that back
whole
Hitting
field.
every hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you got the overflow camping area, which is just a wide open field with that rock thing they built.
Cow pastures everywhere.
Yeah.
Nobody
and-
uses that rock thing, right?
I mean,
I've never-
and that's it. So to me, to people that are maybe thinking about wanting to join the membership, I mean, what do you get out of this? I
Did
don't.
they even say how much that's going to be?
They haven't released prices or anything yet.
Let's watch
And-
it. It's going to be outrageous, probably.
Yeah, it's
And you,
probably.
and you still have to camp like you're at
Yep.
your regular event.
That was the
There's
one
no
thing.
power, no water,
Yep.
none of
Yeah.
that.
There was a comment where it said primitive only, and it said, well, okay, if you're going to call this a campground, I mean, if you want to compare it to like a Peace River or something,
You need concrete slabs,
the
some power, and some
facilities.
water.
Yeah.
So
Bathroom.
Actual
showers.
water and power hookups.
Yeah.
So that way you bring a camper there, you don't have to worry about a generator
Yeah.
and all
That's
that kind of
right.
stuff, you
Yep.
know?
yeah, you'd think hookups. So if you're going to label something a campground,
Yeah, that's
this is what you
literally.
need. You know, so that I mean, I can't believe that they went with this angle. I do know that the family that owns it, the Kelly family, I'm sure after 16 years of being open, it's probably a little tiring.
It's probably wearing on them.
It's
no
wearing,
doubt.
and that they've tried time and time again to sub out to these other management companies to come in and run the park. But I still think the stress is on them. I think it's a lot of work and it's a lot of money to keep it up. I mean, you think about in the original days of Redneck Yacht Club, they had way more than just 2 events a year. there was probably 6 a year.
Yeah.
And they had more
And-
stuff to do. They had airboat races.
Yes,
out
the
back and
airboat
all that
races were
stuff.
awesome in the back. Yep. So it's crazy to see the angle they're taking. I personally, I don't see it lasting more than 6 months. Because I'm going to give you an example. You guys know it well. Sandlot. Before it was Sandlot, it was Tracks and Trails.
Yep.
Tracks and Trails failed. They opened Sandlot. After Sandlot failed, they said, oh, we'll make this a membership type place. And I think Tracks and Trails tried to do the same thing. And it sounds great on paper. But guess what? I don't think it lasted more than a half year.
Something-
All these
something else
people
coming after
pay
that,
all
too,
this
though.
money
Yeah.
for a lease
Yep.
for a place that it's not River Ranch.
No.
It's not 200,000
Thousands,
acres
yeah.
that you can go ride.
Yeah.
It's 150 acres.
I mean, RYC is
And-
660 acres.
Yeah.
The full thing. Trust me, I know.
Ride
this.
it all in an hour,
Yep.
especially in a side by side going 50.
Yep.
All
So-
that place is pretty much for a party scene.
Well, and I
And the
hate
races.
That's what
and the
people went
races.
for, yeah.
Well, but
or the polls too.
once this happened, it made
Somewhat.
me start thinking about how things used to be out there, and I can tell you that back in the day, it wasn't just about the party. I've seen some really dedicated guys to the mud scene out there. It used to be a really cool place to ride, and the party just kind of happened. That's what I've kind of hated over these New Years is they've made the lane a thing, and people have talked about it.
Redneck Yacht Club.
Oh,
Mud Park,
it's the
about
lane.
The lane.
Yep.
Everybody
For the
knows
lane.
about the
And
lane.
back in the day, it was kind of just something that happened. And, some Mardi Gras type vibes decided to infiltrate it, So, I don't know.
That was mostly at the nighttime. Though.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
It wasn't
Not
really
yet.
during the day.
Oh, we've got our first call from LaBelle. I don't know who this is.
LaBelle, huh?
Park.
Hello.
Hi, yes, I was calling to schedule a event weekend at Redneck Mud
Oh,
Park.
Hello,
Hello.
Moneybag, yo.
Welcome to the pod. I think this is Lane, I would assume.
Oh, that's him.
Oh yeah.
So you're looking to schedule an event, sir?
Yeah. So I
And
just
we have
wanted to
two
talk
calls
prices
coming
and
in.
availability.
Calling me right now too.
The phones are
The
off
phone
hook right
lines
now.
are off the hook, Lane.
That's great, bud. That's great.
Yeah.
Let's
Well,
see if anybody's drunker than I am.
Lane is currently out of town, and
Where's he at?
yeah, what are you doing, man?
I'm at Orlando. I'm trying to find. You can't find alcohol up here. I guess they, drinking laws are pretty
Prohibition is
strict
up
in this
there,
area.
Can you find any mud parks you can take a buggy or a mega truck to?
Dude, I heard there's one real good one. It's called Disney World. We're gonna try that next weekend.
That's fine.
They got a lot of things to do there, a lot of activities.
Probably less rules there, anyways.
Yep. Hello.
Yep, we're here.
Yep.
So what's his opinion on this?
How do you? Yeah, let's get your opinion, man. How do you feel?
Everybody said we want, women for president, all this shit, great. If this ain't the fucking prime example of what happens to a women-ran organization, I don't know what to
Oh
say.
my
Oh,
god!
throwing the shade at the women.
Well, this is definitely getting edited out.
No, we will not edit anything.
I kind of like this.
Nothing will be edited.
Feelings are going to get hurt after this.
Hey, Lane, if you are on speaker or talking in your truck, take it off that because it comes in better through the pod. Just want to let you know.
How's it coming in now?
There we go.
Sorry, Chevrolet, not a Ford.
Shots fired.
So let's hear some memories, man. You got any memories of that
Oh
place?
my
or
god,
what?
we are blowing up over here, man. We've got calls coming in like crazy.
Probably the same number.
Dude, the memories at that place, they're unexplainable. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty drunk, so I can't remember all of them. But
Tell us your best one, man. What was the
Yeah,
best
give
one
us
you ever
one
had?
memory.
Yeah, the best one.
I think the best one is I was going through the city lane one time. I had a mild crowd with me. I'm not gonna lie. It's my first few times out there, and I had this pretty nice buggy that kept following me through city lane. We stayed together, and dude, they were being obnoxious, just total. Having a great time. They don't remember any of it. And I was like, man, I would like to be on that buggy and just get to know some of these people one day. Fast forward 2 years later, it's fucking Logan on Never Satisfied.
That's great.
Jesus.
Just loaded down.
I have no idea.
I think that was the time he ran into the back of the Ranger. If we're going to be honest, I think that was the time.
It could have been.
Yeah, it was about 2 years ago, I'd say.
Yeah, about then.
Jesus.
Well, Lane, I hate to cut you off, but it seems like we've got a lot of people calling right when you decided to call, so we want to try and keep these lines open.
Get after it.
All right, brother.
Blake, you be safe, man.
Find the mud park in Orlando.
All right, I got you.
All right.
Good deal.
See you.
Oh, my God.
Is that the same number? To keep
No.
calling?
Mega Truck Media.
That next phone call.
Hello?
Hey,
Who is this?
what is it?
Who is this?
You're live on the air, whoever this is.
We going to Redneck Yacht Club or what?
We can barely understand you, sir, ma'am. I don't know who this is.
Redneck.
See,
Redneck.
how do we keep getting more calls? This is not good.
Everybody's heated, dude.
I know.
Heated.
I don't know if we have time to
Well,
talk in this.
tell
one.
us your name.
Yeah, who is this?
Redneck Yacht Club or what?
Yeah, that's not your name. Oh,
We need
wanna
a
know
name
your
here.
name.
No, he ain't got no name.
Well, that's a problem. You could give us a fake one.
Well, we going or what? What do y'all got to say?
Are we going to Redneck Yacht Club?
Yes, sir.
Well, the problem with that, sir, is they're closed.
No, I got
Oh
you.
my God, dude. Sir,
I got
whoever you
you.
are, I gotta hang up. If you want to call back, wait like 10 minutes.
All right, I'll call back in 10 minutes.
All right. Wonder who that was. Hello.
Mega Truck Media.
Am I live? I want to know if I'm live.
Yes, you are.
What the fuck is Redneck Yacht Club? Bunch
Oh,
of fucking biting, fucking dick sucking motherfuckers.
Sir, I think you and everyone else are having the same feelings. Could you give us your name real quick?
Hey, I live 10 minutes down the road from this mother beeper, and I ain't going there no more. Bunch of Biden faggots.
Nah, that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
you're speaking Logan's language right now, man.
Logan has a
Put me
chub
on
as a-
live. Hey, this is C-Dub in the club coming to you live, old boys.
Yes, sir. You're live on the pod, so speak what you want
Good.
to speak.
Fuck
man.
them. Hey, let's say 16 years. Okay, 16 years for nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not fuck all the racers that have all their money into their shit that live down here in the deep south, the dirty south. And now what? Where they got to go? Now we got to go fucking north, fucking Yankeeville. Here, no disrespect, because they got some badass shit up there.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm just, you know what I mean. It's just coming off heated right now. That's all.
Oh yeah, we completely agree with you, man.
Ah, damn. Fucking camp. Got to buy a fucking thing from only for 4 months?
Yep.
We haven't even found out pricing. They
Yeah,
haven't
we
even
don't
said anything.
And the
yet.
prices are probably going to be ridiculous, is what we're thinking.
Ah, damn, dude. I might as well just sell my fucking property and move fucking somewhere else.
Yep. I think everyone else is feeling the same thing, same way, man. We got to drive more than 2 hours now to go, to a mud park.
So we can confirm you're never going to have a membership there?
We're taking.
Hey, 10 minutes down the road, I'll either be going to Planet Bamboo, I'll either be going to Hogwaller, but I also most definitely will be going to Iron Horse Mud Ranch.
Yes, sir. That's where we will be in October as well. They know how to put on a good show up there.
Damn right. Hey, I went the last one they just had, and I will drive 4.5 hours just to get the hell away from Redneck Yacht Club.
Oh, my God, man.
It was worth the drive, huh?
Damn right. Hey, and the shitters are clean 24/7.
That's what I like to hear,
Yeah,
man. That's what I like to hear. Well, man, I
They got-
appreciate you calling in.
Any last
Yeah, hey, anytime.
And what's your name? I don't think we got your name.
My name is Chad Weitzel.
Oh shit!
Hey, I live out here in the ranchettes.
Logan, did you even know who this
I
was?
knew.
I didn't fucking
I know who the hell it is.
I knew instantly.
Dude, I had no idea.
I knew instantly.
Hey, that's my son-in-law you sit next to.
Oh, I
Blue's
see him.
Clues.
Blue's
Clues.
Clues.
Hey, Blue's Clues.
The sad thing is, Blue's Clues can't even go to Redneck Yacht Club anymore with it.
No.
Hey, love y'all. Y'all be good.
All right, we'll talk to
See
you.
you, C-Dub.
See ya.
Dude, I legit thought we were on like a radio show because he was heated, bro.
He's always a good sport when it comes to this kind of shit, dude.
Dude, I really thought we had some random fan living off like 31 that was calling in, you know?
Well, he was a fan, not anymore. I've heard that Yacht Club.
Yeah. Well, of the pod is what I'm saying.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
But shit, I don't even remember what the hell.
I'm curious on the no-namer there, you know?
Yeah, I don't know who the hell that was.
I kind of have a
I couldn't figure it out.
How many we got missed here? All right, so
it's like, do you call them back or do they call?
So we have a 239 number that called, and we also have another Port Charlotte number that called that we missed both of those. So
Well, if they're important,
but
they'll
if
call
this
back.
guy, we told that guy to call back in 10 minutes, maybe he will.
They probably won't.
But back to what we were saying, you know, Lane actually brought up a really good topic, and you know, he said he had been there before he knew a lot of us, and he had seen people having a good time on Logan's buggy. And I can tell you guys, what do you got here?
Yeah, I just had you read something real quick.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And I can tell you guys, you know, coming from me, and I bet Taylor can relate to this too, when we were going there in our high school days and you got to look up to all the big trucks you were next to, man, for me, it motivated the shit out of me. I would not personally be doing what I'm doing now if it weren't for that park. So it holds a special place in my heart for, you know.
I agree with you too. On
You know
that.
what I mean,
Yeah,
man?
I felt the same way as you did.
And people can say, well, that could be any mud park, but to us it wasn't. That was our hometown bog. So
And fast forward 10 years later, I would have never pictured we'd be sitting where we are today.
exactly, and you know, I always wanted to build a truck. I didn't know it would happen the way it has, and then I'm able to do this. And Taylor, I'm sure you feel the same way about this.
100%.
We
You
all,
know.
when like our first events out there, we all
Yeah.
dreamed of owning mega trucks, race trucks, anything.
And,
out there
and I
that,
wish that the management of the Redneck Mud Park would understand that to, you know, probably a good amount of people, that it's more than just the party, man. It was motivation. It probably made people work a lot harder because they got to see people with toys that they dreamed about, you know?
Yeah,
I've met so many people
Yeah,
out there
man,
too.
so many cool
and it's
people.
like when I used to go riding out in the woods by where I used to live in Lehigh, before that ever got shut down, I couldn't tell you how many people I've met out there, and we would all go to Redneck Yacht Club.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
so many people. It was like a small group, then it turned into a bigger group,
Yep,
and it was
yep.
all like family. You know,
It's pretty much like family now. All these events, it's all
Yeah.
the same people pretty much. for
Yeah,
the
man.
most
I mean,
part.
you know, the park, you know, I also have to level with them because as the years have gone on and, you know, different types of people have come to the park and it's become more of the party scene over the
Yep.
mud, I can see their concern,
a
you know?
lot more injuries, I'm sure.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the whole party scene of it.
So, and then the worst part was, you know, growing up, I mean, you can ask any parent that watched the news back then. I mean, anytime you heard Redneck Yacht Club, it was something bad happened out there. But until you actually went to an event, you can't judge it. And, you know,
yeah. I've had good times. I've had bad times.
dude,
out there.
I've been sober there. You know, I've always said that I could have gone to RYC sober, you know, not drank anything, and I still think I'd have a good time. So it sucks for the guys like us that, you know,
$50,000, $100,000,
Yeah.
$200,000 in these builds, and we can't take them nowhere.
nowhere, man. It's getting smaller and smaller.
Kind of
so
puts a damper on things.
Oh,
it does.
100%.
I remember even one event, they took the key. Like I had my old high school truck, a bed full of people having a good time, you know.
Yep.
And because they wanted me, the driver is responsible for all the people in the bed of the truck. Their security team took the keys to my truck for that whole night.
Yep.
And I told them I was sleeping in my truck. It's 1,000,000 degrees outside. What am I gonna do?
Yep.
And they did not care at all.
Well, you know, and that I'm sure people all have stories like that, and to me, that was more of the security company that they hired.
I think
you
it
know?
was too.
Because I think for many years they always switched up who they hired for security. It was never a
Yeah.
consistent group
Yeah.
of people. And it's hard to keep consistent when you only have 2 events a year. You can't really employ these people all the time. And
But they got how many events? It used to be way more than 2
I
events. a
think
year.
it was about 6 a year.
That's what it was.
Because you
Yeah.
had a May event near
'cause
Memorial Day.
I remember going back in my camera roll, and it was only like a month or two later. Oh, look, I was at
We
another
were there,
event,
yeah,
you know?
exactly. It was March, then May, and I know they had a
like
4th
every
of July.
3 months,
yeah,
yeah.
They had New Year's out there. I mean, they used to have everything, man.
Now, when they did that, were the events just as big as the two events were every
Well,
year?
you got to understand, I think the prime of RYC was before Trucks Gone Wild was even as big as it was. Yeah.
Every old head from
Yeah.
Naples to everywhere was just
Yeah.
at Redneck
Florida
Yacht
too.
Club.
So it was
because
just, you know,
it was just there.
yeah, a lot
And it was
smaller.
new, and it
You know,
was-
it wasn't in your 10,000s or whatever the numbers
Yeah.
they say these days. It was more like, you know, 4,000 or 5,000 people. You know, I don't know. It just it felt a lot different years ago, and I think that's what we all reminisce on is how good it used to be.
Right. Now, let me ask you
know.
this. You know, we had this discussion probably a year ago anyways. You know, we always talked about how Trucks Gone Wild was always like the big
Yes.
put
Yeah.
on everything, you know. And we
Yep.
talked about if they ever pulled away,
Mhm.
we thought that it would stay just as big and popular as if they was still there.
And
But
what's funny is,
they pulled away.
and the opposite happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even
And-
though it's made such a name for itself, I don't understand that really.
I don't either. I think you just see the logo Trucks Gone Wild, and you know that they've put on these shows for many years, and that you know if you show up, it's gonna be a legit event. There's gonna be things to do. There's gonna be action to see.
And then you see that they've pulled away, and then you think, well,
Yep. Now you say, what are they gonna do out there? What's the lineup look like for Saturday? You know,
Right.
because that was the thing, man. I mean,
I know people that would
I know
literally
the
go
polls.
Wednesday night to wait at the gate for Thursday
oh,
morning.
me too, buddy. we
know.
got friends that
Cody
would sit there.
Daniels,
Yeah, they'd be the first ones.
They started kicking them out.
This was
Yeah.
like their vacation, like mini
Well, a lot of
vacation,
people
you know,
I
local.
was reading some comments today, and people were like, "Man, this was our 2 vacations a year. You know, it's what we look forward to. Spend all of our money on, you know, RVs and the big toys."
well, these
and
people, they come from all over
all,
the country.
oh
you know,
man,
for this
people!
place.
I met people from Germany in there. You
Oh,
know,
really?
Yeah,
yeah.
man,
No
a couple
way.
years ago, yeah.
We were
So-
filmed out there.
Exactly, you know. So I mean, a lot of my friendships have come from that place, and my best memories in my life came from that park. So it is crazy, and as you guys can hear on this pod, people are fired up. It sounds
Yeah,
like.
no doubt about that.
Hey, what was that show that they filmed? What was it called? There was a movie. They
Yeah.
filmed a movie. Do you remember the name? I think it was on Hulu, right?
Yeah,
Or no,
it's
or
called Red,
Amazon-
White, and Wasted.
Yeah,
if you
I
guys
think it's
want to
on
check it out,
Amazon Prime Video.
it's
or
on
something
Prime
like that.
Video.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And
I've had multiple people send me, "What are you doing in this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I was
Yeah.
there." Yeah.
Yeah.
that movie was supposed to revolve around our friend group here, with me actually being the main character. And it all started at RYC. So, you know, we've got some crazy good memories, man. The nightlife was just amazing growing up out there, you know. And I don't know, it's a shame,
Definitely one of the
And-
big highlights of my childhood. no
dude.
doubt.
I mean,
Yeah.
and it sucks because now we have to be those old heads that say, "Oh, when we went there," you know. And none of these kids are ever going to get to experience how it really was, you know.
Yep.
You can go out to these other mud parks around the state or anywhere, and it never hit like it did at RYC. And maybe it's because we're from here, we're biased, whatever.
Yep.
But I don't know. It had a vibe, man. So a lot of people were pretty messed up last night. I told Taylor, I said, "Man, I'm heartbroken. I'm sad." And then.
A lot of people.
And
were.
I saw a bunch of people sharing old pictures. It's like someone died, man.
I did,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah, you posted.
yeah, the event died.
I was
Yeah,
gonna make
16 years of memories died.
Yeah,
if it died,
man.
I can tell you that.
It's very sad, man. And, you know.
Autoplay Dragon Tales and some
Yeah.
Potato sack
potato
races.
sack.
Like I've
races,
said
you
in the
know?
previous pod, man, Bamboo, knock on wood, has it figured out. They have figured out that you can have a family-filled weekend out there where all ages can come. They bring the bounce houses in and you know, they have the petting zoo, all that cool stuff, you know, for the kids. No caller ID. This should be good, boys. Let's see what's happening here.
Mega Truck Media.
Oh, well.
Hello?
No caller ID. How you doing?
Hey, man, this is Joe.
Joe. Joe who?
Yeah, Joe.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt. All right. What can we do for you, Mr. Dirt?
Man, I'm just trying to tell you, we need to pack this shit up and take her on to Bamboo.
I think we'd all agree
I
with you.
agree with Joe.
I agree with Joe, too. I think RYC just sent a lot of business to Plant Bamboo now.
Oh, there's already a flyer and all.
Oh, yeah. You know what I loved about that flyer?
Operation Buck, boys.
You know what that flyer says at the bottom of it?
What's
all 4x4's welcome. I was like, damn, that's
Oh,
a diss
yeah,
right
yeah.
there, dude.
What does Mr. Joe think of this?
Yeah.
Man, I think this operation's fucked. We need to move on. Get going.
Now,
Are you pretty upset about
Yeah.
it being canceled, or like what's the deal here?
Yeah, man, I'm fucking pissed.
pissed?
Yep, I'm pissed. I've had enough.
Yeah.
Makes me want to slap my baby mama.
Oh wow.
I take it you've been there before, huh?
I slapped her once, but
No, I didn't mean that.
We were
Okay.
not asking that.
Yeah,
you
that
know.
works too, you know.
So I take it you're
I'm
not gonna,
not. Yeah,
you're not going to buy a membership for this new campground. I'm guessing then, right?
something like that.
Something like that.
That's
Now,
what guys
Mr.
know.
Joe, did you call no caller ID to hide your number or to hide your identity?
Might have been one of those.
Might have
A
been
little bit
one
of both,
those.
it sounds
All right.
like.
Sounds
One of
like that.
them.
So we're trying. I think we're all actively trying to figure out who this is. But if you don't want to tell us, that's fine.
Anonymous.
Yeah, we definitely
Anonymous Joe.
we definitely agree with your opinion on the park, man. Is there anything else you want to say?
Fuck her right in the pussy.
There you go.
All
I love
right.
it. All right. Well, it's good talking to you, Mr. Joe. Call again if you want.
Will do. Thanks, boys.
All right.
I wonder if Tim Green's gonna call
I'm
in.
going to go with that was Chris Kearns.
You know who it kind of sounded like?
Yep, I do.
Bradford.
Yep, that's what I'm going with.
Bradford?
Bradford?
100%.
Yeah.
I thought it was Bradford.
Sounds like Bradford,
I'm still
yeah.
torn on the first one that wouldn't say his name either. I think
know,
I know
I know.
who it is though.
Really?
Yeah, we'll talk after. You know.
We'll talk after. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Well.
yeah. So if you guys didn't catch on, Logan has leaked my phone number again. I guess this is a new thing to do. So people are calling in.
We want to hear some memories, man. Tell us some good stories.
I wanted to get into that, but first I wanted to talk about some other parks that this has happened to, and then we'll get in, to some memories.
Triple Canopy.
So Triple Canopy is probably the biggest one I can think of, and the reason being is because they actually did exactly what RYC is doing.
Yep.
They turned it into a campground.
See, I didn't
Yep.
know that.
Now the difference is with Triple Canopy is they have made that a full like campground, like Peace River
for
vibe.
older people.
Yes, for older.
It's
and-
not a side-by-side.
No. But it's all full hookups, all that, and that's the reason they're still pretty successful. But Triple Canopy, TCR was probably one of the best parks in the state of Florida. I mean, next to Iron Horse, I think it was number 2. I never personally got to go
Me
to
neither.
TCR, but after seeing videos and talking to people, man, it sounds like it was an amazing time.
And that was in Okeechobee, right?
No, that's it. Actually, right next to River Ranch.
Oh,
It's
okay.
on the same
Yeah.
road.
So Lake Wells area, pretty much.
The fence line actually backs right up to TCR.
Okay.
So,
It's like Westgate.
yeah.
River
Westgate,
Ranch
yep.
is over there too.
So, and I've heard amazing things, and I can't remember exactly why they closed. I think it was due to the county and neighbors and things, and you hear that time and time again is the county, neighbors, and money, and all that. So it was sad to see that one go. Another one I can think of is called Devil's Mud Garden, which was out.
I never got to go there.
See,
either.
I went to Devil's Mud Garden, man, and if you want to talk about old school bog, that's all it was. It was in the middle of nowhere, Clewiston.
Yep.
And I went twice, and let me tell you, man, I had a great time. A lot of big trucks, like OG mega trucks you saw out there. They had Demolition Derby at night. They had the races. It was a full blown park, man, and it was great land. I mean, you were in the middle of nowhere. Campsites were awesome, and they ended up closing pretty abruptly because they had one death on the property, and the family sued, and I think they didn't have enough capital and probably got taken for everything.
A lot, yeah.
So they had to shut down. But that one hurt too because if that place was still open,
Yeah,
man,
that
we'd
was
be
a-
out there
that
right
was a
now.
Really nice park.
I loved that park, man. It was so cool. It was fun.
You telling me that, and I'm thinking about all the sugarcane fields and how black the soil is.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine
It's
how black the
literally-
mud is.
I'll
over
show
there.
you on a
Yeah.
map where it is, dude.
Oh yeah,
It-
it's
it-
almost like bamboo. Where
Yeah.
it's just
Oh, yeah.
black
pitch black.
cow
Yeah.
fields.
So like old
you know.
82 Cypress mud.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Dude, it was so cool out there. It had like a bamboo feel to it. But let me think. And then there was another one called the St. Lucie Mud Hole.
I seen somebody talk about
Yes,
that today on
yep.
Facebook, actually.
And that one I had never been to. That's some old school mud parks that are way before our time.
That was on the East Coast over
East
there.
Coast, yep. And I went on their Facebook, and the last event they ever had was in 2015, and they closed right after that. And that was due to the county and whatever. And then the last one I'll bring up for South Florida is the original Okeechobee Mud Fest, which is not plant bamboo, as some people think.
Is it by it?
Yes.
Same road?
No, but I could show you on a map exactly where it is. Yeah, the original Okeechobee Mudfest was a big event. I mean, I think every guy from the East Coast was going to that event every year, and that one was kind of, I've heard it wasn't run like a park. It was more of, I think someone had property and they just started putting events on, and it became something big. But I think they got shut down too. So I mean, we've seen this happen, man. I mean, we got Sandlot right next to us. I really wonder what's going to happen to that park that is next to RYC. I forgot the name of it.
74
BMX. Family Fun Park.
I've heard they're still doing.
I've heard
they're still doing
stories
BMX out there, or not BMX, but motocross.
Motocross,
whatever.
yeah. So I wonder what that's going to mean for them,
That's
just because they share the road.
That's a whole separate place, though.
Yes, whole separate, but they share the road to get in. You know,
the same area,
Same
kind
area.
of.
Yeah,
Well,
they
down
can't lock the gate there.
No.
Yeah, I mean, if you're
have
running
to
a
be able
business,
to-
that's an easement road. You'd think. You
well,
know?
down the road was also the Sandlot. It wasn't open very long.
That's what we were
but-
talking about. They shut
Yeah.
down too and tried to do the same thing.
That property's actually still for lease or for
Well,
sale.
we had a guy in town, the Cotner family, that tried to start a park out there.
Was it them?
It actually had big potential, too. I don't understand what happened with that either.
Man, it's money. It's
I've
the
heard
county
plenty-
doesn't.
yeah, I've
I'm
heard
sure
some
Charlotte
things.
County does not want to have two mud parks on the same road.
They're the hardest county to do anything with anyways. If you talk to anybody that's trying to build a
Well, let
house,
me
the
tell you,
permitting
buddy.
through Charlotte County is outrageous.
Go down to Collier, okay?
Yeah.
Bad.
Try Fort Myers Beach.
Yeah, FMB,
Sanibel,
Sanibel.
yeah,
that's the
Captiva.
beach. You're talking the beach. That's all the beach.
Let me
stuff,
tell
and,
you, Logan, I
you're
deal
not
with
out in the
permits every
country,
day.
like-
Charlotte's the easiest people I've ever dealt with.
Really?
Yeah. In the fire business, that is. But, I mean, that goes for everything.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, it's a damn shame what's happening. And we're running out of places to take these big trucks, man. It's like, why are we even building them now? Honestly.
Even for somebody, I have a side-by-side. I don't think I'm going to bring mine to
Maybe you
there.
should get a membership,
Yeah,
man.
man, get a membership.
No.
Because if you think about it, you pay $700
How many
once.
guests are you allowed?
Oh yeah, what are they going to do for that? You know, I mean, it's like,
Is it like a Peace River deal where you can only have like
I-
two guest passes at your
Yeah.
campsite? and
well, you
shit?
think about River Ranch, they've got that dialed in. I mean, I heard Kevin from the shop told me it's over like 50,000 acres out there.
I've never
know?
been still.
I've never
I've-
been either.
Nick's been bugging me to come
Yeah,
out there.
everyone I
and he's
talk
like,
to says to go.
Yeah,
It's like
he's
a drug.
dude, yeah,
That's
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
We got to go out there. Nick's
But-
been bugging me. He's
But
like,
think
dude, you
about how
got to
they
come
do it.
out there.
If you get an access deed, I think it's like 700 up front, and then it's like 100 something a year.
155 a
And
year.
I mean, it's like you're going to get your money's worth, and you will never ride that whole place. There's
This is
no way in
also
hell.
50,000 acres compared to how much is Redneck
600
Outfield?
acres.
Man.
Yeah, I mean the money. I mean it's worth every penny to go to River Ranch.
But
So,
it's not the big party scene like everybody's
Of
paying
course
for.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you want to
of
go
course.
and ride
It's not a mud
and
park.
be able
you
to
know.
hunt
Yep.
and do
But I just
whatever.
yeah, man.
I'm fine with driving 2 hours to plant bamboo for the party scene and
Yeah.
like all that. You know,
I mean, I don't think RYC realizes yet, but Bamboo's going to be rolling in some money. I think really soon here,
100%.
man. I think I saw everyone share that flyer. For the event coming up in October. I mean, everyone shared that thing.
well, we're going.
Oh, we'll be there, no doubt in my mind. But man,
A week after Iron Horse.
Yeah.
they
Oh,
back
yeah.
Oh,
them
it
right.
is, isn't it?
Back to
week,
back.
yeah, back to
Oh,
back.
man, we're
man.
going to be hurting.
I'm gonna be fired because I have no more PTO.
You better gain them up now. Gain
Dude,
those
I have
hours up
no
now.
PTO.
All I can tell you for Iron Horse, I am leaving Thursday morning. I'm not waiting until Friday to go
That's the
there.
way to do it, just because it's so far.
Yep.
It's where? It's up 4 hour
That's
drive.
Perry.
Right?
Same,
it's not
same
too
as
bad.
Hogwaller,
Yeah, it's
man.
the same as Hog.
Yeah, I'm fine with driving either or.
And that's the
I'm
thing with
about it.
Hogwaller. Hogwaller's a great park, but the only thing they have for mega trucks there is the main
track.
holes. Yeah, the track.
It's more for side by
Oh, of
sides and
course.
whatnot, but you know,
But
it's
they
like-
also have 1,000 acres.
and you can
there.
ride at night.
You can
Nobody
ride.
complains. Like,
they have
I mean, it's a
camper
good- yeah.
hookups, their
Yep.
bathrooms,
Cabins.
They have a legit
Showers.
restaurant there.
Yeah, the
you
showers.
know.
Yeah.
Yep, showers. Yep.
Group showers, I heard.
Yes, they don't specify male or female. You can
just
kind of just join in where you fit in. You
Mix
know.
them up and everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But so what? You wanted to hear some old RYC stories?
Yeah.
on
You
the
know what
pod?
story I'd love to hear from you?
Oh man,
I'm gonna say it.
you're gonna make me edit. What is it, man?
Oh no, you don't need to edit. Why do you need to edit this out? It's been
Because the
RYC's
problem
over.
with my stories is even though the place is gone, the stories still affect real people.
it's a good story. Well, your feelings are meant to be hurt tonight.
Oh, I guess so, man. What do you want to hear?
The tent story.
Oh man,
I can tell that one. I'm fine telling.
Oh,
that
you,
one.
did you think I was gonna say something else?
Oh, I have so many. Like me and Ben have always said, we could make a deck of cards shuffle them up, and have someone pull a card with like a story title, and me and Ben would be like, all right, you want to hear this one? I mean, we have so many stories for all the years.
I wish we had Ben here on this too.
I know. He actually hit me up too. I don't know where he's at.
I need to get him to call in.
Surprised he hasn't called in. Yeah.
He doesn't check Snap or anything.
Taylor, shoot him a text, man. Tell him he's got to call in the night before this is over with.
But so the tent story. You want to hear that one?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
so. I think I'm going to tell that one, and then what I'd like to do is I want to hear everyone's. I want everyone to go around a shortened version of their very first event there. I want to hear it, just because it's very nostalgic right now.
First event.
Your very first time getting on that property. But I'll tell the tent one because it's a funny one. So years ago, I was out at the Redneck Mud Park, and I wouldn't know what year it was.
I couldn't tell you a year.
And I was pretty intoxicated.
Have they? I know he's probably heard the story. Has
I'm
Logan?
sure.
This has to be like 14, 15.
Yeah, 14, 15 era.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
back
Has
in
Logan
the
heard
day.
this
I don't know.
story? I
He's-
don't
he's
think he
about to.
has.
So
He'll like this one.
it was a Saturday
This
night.
is $60.
$60.
Part of
That's how you can go through the
$60.
eras, is how much it costs to get in the gate.
Oh, that's not what we're talking about.
Oh, I got that. Sorry. Jesus Christ.
I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, this is $60 if you want a
Yeah.
reference.
Yes.
So it was a Saturday night, and back then, I would just bring my little four-wheeler out there, and we had a fire going at camp. People were still out on the lane. Everything was, going pretty good. And this girl, that I kind of had a thing for, she walked up to the fire, and she was all crying and shit, and I said, she was a little sad, and I said, well, you know what would cheer you up? I'd take you for a little four-wheeler ride. And she didn't want any part of that. She was, I don't know, some type of drama was going on, and you know how that goes. And she decided she was going to call it a night and go in her tent and go to bed by herself. And I said, oh, whatever. Now, my buddy Jimmy was sitting there with me, and back then Jimmy was a little crazy dude. And like I said, we were pretty highly intoxicated. And Jimmy looked at me, and he said, what do you want to do? And I said, Jimmy, can I ask you to do something for me tonight? And he looked at me, and he said, I'll do anything you ask me to tonight. And I said, really? He said, yep. I said, all right, Jimmy, see that tent right there? He said, mm-hmm. I said, I need it to come down. I need it to be beyond recognizable. I need it on the ground. And he did this take where he looked at the tent, looked back at me, looked at the tent, and he goes, I'll do it. And I said, well, how are you going to do it? And he goes, just go hide over there, and you'll see. And I can't actually say what he yelled for, purposes.
Me?
No, what Jimmy yelled as he ran towards the tent.
Was it that bad?
Yes.
Why can't you just bleep it out?
Sure, it's the N word. He said RYC,
Oh.
So he backs up like a bull, and just starts charging at this tent. And he says the phrase, and he just dog piles on this tent. And I watched it fold up like I don't even know. It was, one side fold, the other side fold. You hear,
collapse.
The stakes breaking, everything's breaking, collapsing. And then he gets up and runs away. And I am looking at this like, oh my God, he really did it. The tent is down.
And there's still somebody inside.
And the girl had gone to bed inside crying, and now she believes that a random person has come running by and jumped on her tent. And so now Jimmy comes back to me all out of breath. He's like, what do we do now? And I said, all right, Jimmy, we got to walk by the tent and act like we don't know what happened. So we go by the tent, and I'm like, oh no, this tent is on the ground. I hope no one's in there. And you hear this faint crying. And this girl's like, I'm in there.
I'm in here.
And I said, Jimmy, there's someone in there. We got to get him out. So we acted like, her knight in shining armor. And we, unzip this tent and crawl through. I mean, it's demolished. And so we get her out of the tent. And I'm like, what happened? And she says, I don't know. I was just laying in my bed and some crazy guy came by and jumped on me. So I said, oh, well, that's a damn shame. What an asshole, And so I said, you know what would cheer you up? And I tried it again. I said, a four-wheeler ride. And she says, you know what? Yeah, I think I need that. And I said, beautiful. I looked at Jimmy. I gave him the thumbs up, and he said, I did my job for the evening. And so I got her on the four-wheeler. So we're heading out family camping because that's where we always camped. And I'm like, fuck yeah, this worked. I can't believe this fucking worked. But we're riding. And so I was going to take her on a journey around the park, you know, maybe hit a few holes, whatever. And all of a sudden, this other girl shows up out of nowhere on the trail, and she's looking for her friend. And she says, have you seen her? And I said, no, I haven't. And she said, well, can you help me look for her? And I said, well, I was going to go on a ride. But by the time I finished my sentence, she has now joined the four-wheeler as well. And now instead of going for a nice ride with one girl, I'm with two of them, and we have become a search party. So now I'm like, great, I got to ditch this other girl, you know, whatever. Just being a piece of shit in my young mind. And so we're riding around the park, and I'm just like, we got to find this missing girl so she can like, go with her, and I can get back to what I was trying to do here. And, well, there used to be a corner in RYC. I used to actually, what's crazy is, side little story here, I used to actually give a presentation to people every year called RYC 101.
Yep. Ooh, I forgot about that.
It was beautiful.
I had a projector, and I made a PowerPoint presentation for all of my new college friends that have never been. And we would sit in my old living room with like 20 people.
I wish I got to see one of those.
I invited you every time. I know
you
I did.
Yeah.
I went to 2 of them.
Yep. And I used to give them tests and everything. It was fun as hell. It was fun as shit.
Pop quiz.
Yeah.
What's this road called?
Yep. And so there was a part of the park near North Camping, North Corner, where I called it the Drug Dealer Corner. So back in the day, in the truck scene, there was a time, and I think it's still kind of like that, where it was cool to act like a dope dealer. You know, have the big trucks, outside speakers, big rims, whatever. Now, this corner had a lot of those guys, but they were the real fucking deal. These are the real dude. You didn't fuck with these guys. If you wanted to buy some drugs, you went to that corner. It was just a drug dealer corner.
Was this like the Who's fucking crew?
Oh, yeah. Those type of guys. Yep. And so we're rounding this corner on my four-wheeler. You know, little old me, 16-year-old, whatever, however old I was. And there's the girl that we've been looking for, of course, with the drug dealers. So I pull into camp, and I said, great, you found your friend. Well, guess what? They both get off the bike. And the one that I brought initially, the one we crushed the tent, she says, I think I'm just going to stay here. Oh. And I said, of course, the guy on the little Rancher 350 loses to the guys with the big dope boy trucks. So I get back on my bike, and I'm pissed now. So I head on back to camp. Now, Jimmy's drunk ass is still sitting at the fire by himself. He pulls up and says, what happened? And I tell him what happened. And he says, well, fuck her. And he said, we should do something about it. And I said, well, what do you want to do about it, Jimmy? He says, get in my Suburban. Now, you guys got to realize Jimmy here.
Oh, God.
He had an old Chevy Suburban, little body lift on it. It was ghetto as hell. It was the most ghetto thing you've ever seen.
The best part.
Was the wheels.
The wheels.
He took stock Chevy wheels and turned them inside out.
Oh, that's right.
And bolted them up to give him offset.
Weren't they dually wheels?
No, they were just normal Chevy wheels.
The wheels that came on it, regular old 10 wides.
And put them on backwards.
Put them on backwards. You could see the wheel weights.
I kind of remember this.
Yes.
Yep.
So we get in his death trap, straight pipe. Back in those days, if you were 16, you cut the exhaust right off your truck.
Yep, Sawzall and all.
Yep. And so he backs up onto the flattened tent on the ground and does a burnout. And the tent gets all tangled up in the tires, and we start doing donuts around it, through it, every which way. I mean, this tent is shredded to pieces. And then we parked the truck, and we went to bed. Well, little did I know that this girl, that was not her tent. It was her friend's tent.
Oh.
Your sister.
Yes, a good old...
Oh, God, now I got it. So she owned this tent, and the next morning, she came back to camp. Don't know where she stayed, but she didn't stay at our camp. She came back and said, what the fuck happened to my tent? I mean, if you looked around camp, it looked like someone had drove through there with like a skid steer, just leveled everything. And, there was nothing left. It was insane. And she's like pissed. She says, who the fuck ran over my tent? Blah, blah, blah. And I'll never forget it. Shout out to my buddy Zach, Mr. Emke. Mr. Emke looks dead in her face and goes, it was Kevin Hutchinson.
Yep.
And I looked at Jimmy and I said, Yep, it was Kevin. And so now, for the rest of the weekend, people wondered what happened to this tent, and everyone said, "Oh, Kevin must have got drunk with his dually and just destroyed this tent for whatever reason."
The back dually tire called it.
Yeah, and it just destroyed the tent.
And the funny thing is, I never even heard about this until probably at least
Years
a
later.
year.
Yeah.
I was going to say at least a year after this
Yeah.
event, but it was probably years after. And never had a clue about it. Nothing. And nobody came looking for me or anything.
I don't know
Nothing.
where Zach got this, proof from, but he was so serious. He said, "It was Kevin. I saw it." And I'm like, "No, you didn't see it because it was me."
What a dirtbag.
So that's the famous tent story. I do probably sound like a piece of shit, but whatever. It was all in good fun. And
Who cares?
lost another one to the dope dealers. That's just how it went back then. You know.
And then right back they go for 60 more bucks.
That person actually hit me up recently, and I'll put this in the airways because fuck that person. The person from the tent story actually hit me up for money. And I actually
Why is that?
I got scammed for some money. Long story short, she is got a bad drug problem. So that's where life can take you if you hang out in the drug dealer corner at
Hanging out with
RYC.
the dope boys, man.
Wow.
That's where
Way
life
to give
can
them
take
more
you.
reasons to make it a family campground.
Yeah, these stories. Like I said, man, it's dangerous to tell these stories.
Hey, your
you
boy
know?
got at least $5 back for you, You know
Yeah,
what
Kevin
I'm talking
tried to get some money back for me.
about. Yeah,
but,
I got like $5 back.
Yeah,
you know.
$5 worth. you know.
Yeah, that's about it. So
What did Kevin get for $5?
No,
We're
just
not gonna
some
talk
things,
about
you know.
that.
You got a pee touch.
What comes with drugs comes.
I think
other
we're gonna have to
things,
start
you
doing
know.
some pods, like some explicit pods.
Yeah, I guess
You
so,
know?
man.
And I got a couple guests that want to come on.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah,
buddy.
they'd love to come on.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
I'm
they
sure
will.
they
They
dude.
would love. They'd have a great old time.
Yep, probably wouldn't be able to air it on Spotify.
No, but,
and
I mean, we
Mom, I hope you never listen to that episode.
we're-
if it ever comes out.
Your mom or their mom?
Any of these parents.
I was
dude.
gonna say we should invite their mom too.
Oh, great.
The one's mom.
Kevin, why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Why not?
You know that T-Pain song, I Like the Bartender, you know what I mean?
Oh,
That's a good song.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That kind of relates to your $60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're getting up in time. I just want to go around and I want everyone to tell a quick version of their first ever time at RYC. It can be the first day, it can be the whole weekend, whatever you want, but don't make it too long. So who wants to go first here? Oh,
right, I'll
Taylor's
go.
up,
Yeah,
man.
that's fine.
I want to hear this. I don't know if I've heard this.
So it was my first event the same year HD Broadcast came.
To camp?
Yep. Luke,
Really?
Yep. Luke Combs
Yep.
and the FGCU
That was your first
club.
event.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
my first event. I was
Wow.
late.
Yeah.
I've only been going for 4 years.
But
5
that was
years.
an amazing event, like
We
honestly.
towed a trailer down the lane.
Yep, I pulled a trailer
wired
through.
LED lights and put a couch on it and everything.
We used
I
to
remember
build-
this. I
yeah.
remember the couch in the trailer. Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody
That was his
loved
first
it.
event.
Really?
you know?
Yep.
He used to guide me through the lane because I would have to drive a truck every night.
That's
Nice.
the same
Yeah.
weekend. Charlie ran me over.
I pinned him between another truck
Yep.
on the lane.
Good thing it was a S10 and it was a 5-speed. So I was pushing the 5-speed while Charlie was ramming me into the 5-speed,
That's
and I was
awesome.
just pushing.
And I had no earthly idea what was going on, you know.
slapping the hood.
Yeah.
Stop! You can't see me.
That's
you
great.
know?
Yep.
It was a good time, and HD Broadcast came over.
Shout out to
interviewed
Paul.
Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was fun. It was a good time.
That was an amazing event,
It's
man. I
nowhere
remember that
near
one.
what it used to be.
No.
Even from that event,
I
it has
think-
changed so much.
I think that was the last good event. Close to it. I remember a few after that.
There
that
was
were-
a
that were
couple
good,
after
yeah.
that were good. We
Yeah.
had the big speaker wall in Bradford.
Yeah, we always build a speaker wall every year. Man, I could sit here and tell you guys so many stories from that park. Just everything we used to do to get ready to go there, you know.
Oh yeah.
And Taylor
Nights.
used to cook for everyone. He'd spend $200-$300 and make food for legit everyone in family camping, you know.
Oh yeah, go to Costco, load up.
Yeah.
Damn.
'Cause,
Chicken
I mean,
one night, pork chops one
we
night.
had a
steak
group of
another
probably
night.
what, like 100 people, like surrounding
Yeah,
us. You
like
know?
my first couple events, there was, I mean, everybody was still in high school and like just fresh
Yep.
out of high school, 17, 18.
Yeah.
Yep.
The whole OG friend group of Fort Myers was
Yep.
still 200 people.
Everybody
Dude.
from
And we
Charlie's
were all-
presentation.
Yep.
Yeah,
We
all
were-
my college friends would come.
We were all camped in family camp.
Dude, there was
in
not a
one
place to
corner.
park.
There was not a place to park. And it was good time.
Yeah, great
wake up at
vibes.
7 in the morning and wave at somebody a quarter mile away that you hung out with all night long.
You'd smell the bacon,
Yep,
wake up.
and
Yeah.
start coming on over.
Yeah.
Cool air in the wintertime.
Oh my
November.
God!
Oh.
The family camp and sunsets in the mornings, they're just my favorite.
I don't even remember
sure.
New Year's events too.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah,
New Year's,
good
yeah.
times.
For anyone that never got a chance to camp and family camping, it was probably the best place to be. You're in the
Yeah.
pines, out of the sun, and
Well,
man, back then the vibes were just like it was like your neighbor, Everyone was
Family.
fucking
Yeah.
yeah,
You'd
it's
know
family,
us.
man.
You'd know us. We're in the middle row, about 3/4 of the way back. We got about the whole middle row blocked off, and everybody calls us assholes. But
Yeah.
by Saturday morning,
There
there's
wasn't
not
a
a place to park,
no.
and we block off a good.
And then I used to
amount of
call it
that.
Tent City because everyone had a tent, and I mean, dude, it looked like a tent city out
I believe it,
there.
dude.
100 tents out there on
You
the
had
ground.
not even a foot between each tent,
So everybody's doors lined up next to each other.
Yep.
You just one after another.
We used to do
single
a thing
file.
called tray weighing back then.
Half of them probably didn't
Good
even make
old
it into the tent.
skinhead.
Yeah, skin. Yeah,
skin.
Tray weighing was, I guess it stemmed from the first tent.
Yep.
We used to just go knock down random people's tents at night. All of our friends, but
Treyway.
yeah, we'd yell tray weigh and knock over tents.
This was
and,
in
you know.
Charlie's 6'9" days.
Yeah, my 6'9" days. Yep, yep, yep.
6'9".
Yeah.
So that was your first event. I'm jealous. That sounds like an amazing event.
It really set the bar really
Yeah,
high for me.
I bet it did.
and Bamboo came the closest
Yep.
to a good time that I've had since my first event at Yacht Club.
Yep. All right, who's next?
Let's hear it, Kev.
Oh, you want mine?
Kevin's going
Mine's
to be
not-
OG.
Mine's not going to be that great.
I got
'cause
to piss, though, but keep talking.
My first one. Well, you'll probably be interested in this.
I'm listening.
Are we
My
taking a break?
No, I mean, if you guys want to.
Well, you took the wrong pisser, because I got to piss too. I'm going to piss right off the balcony.
You can just
I don't
edit this
care.
out. I could use a break from taking this out.
Drew it.
All right, so we took a little break. We're back. We want to hear Kevin's story of his first RYC.
So from when I remember my first story, I mean, it was probably 2014, 2015. I don't remember much of it. I just know I didn't even have any kind of a toy to bring out there. I didn't even have probably didn't even have a driver's license or a permit at that time, because the first time I went was with actually Thomas King.
Really?
And his little Nissan four-door
Yep,
truck that
the
he
Frontier.
had. And the lime green Honda
Monster Rancher.
on the Silverbacks.
Yeah. Oh,
He
my
took-
God, dude.
It was him. So I can't remember her name. I think it was like Kayla or something. I don't know.
Oh, you rode with him in there?
Yeah.
In the old
I
Frontier.
third wheeled it all the way. I'm like, hey
Oh,
man,
my
you're going to Redneck Yacht Club, and we followed Kyle Henderson
Yep,
up there,
yep. Oh, my
and
God,
somebody
man.
else when Kyle Henderson had the old the white Yoda days,
The Special K.
Special K. Special K. That's
Special
right.
K.
I remember a picture of us. We stopped at Lee Civic Center
I've
on the
seen-
way up
I
there.
remember that
I
picture.
I
Holy
gotta find that
shit,
picture.
man.
That was a good picture.
Yeah.
You know, I was excited. I had never been. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
I'm like my little yee self is ready to go. Didn't even bring a fuller or
Little
anything.
Lehigh kid.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had a fuller back then, but I had no way to bring it.
Yeah.
But dude, I mean, I just remember like my first event. I was like, wow, this place is fucking awesome. Saw my first the first. I think the first mega I might have saw was either the Soda Boys or the Yeti.
Yep. That
I
was
think it
one
was
of the only
probably-
ones out there.
Yeah, which was, I mean, that was a good event. That's all I really remember is just like, wow, the party scene out here is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm definitely coming back for as long as I can.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to be one of these guys up in a mega truck or a buggy one day.
Yep,
But now it's
exactly.
just like
Yep.
my future's like ruined in a way. So
Yeah, I feel you. Logan, you're up.
Dude, I want to say the first year I ever went to Redneck was 2017 because I was 18.
Wow.
I was there.
Okay, 18, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
as soon as I turned 18 is when I went because I wasn't a
Yeah.
degenerate, back in the day.
Parents too. Mine were the same way. Don't worry.
Yeah. And as far as that goes, all them events were pretty cool, but the one that really stuck out the most, man, the guy that used to own my buggy before me, Zach Cook, he had it. And, you probably heard in that phone call earlier from Lane, every time you seen that buggy, there was
Loaded
30,
down.
40 people in
Yep,
there.
yep.
And we was in the lane one night. I don't know if this was like November or whatever it was. I think it was pretty cold out, so it had to be November, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And we had all them people on there, and, when you're driving, it's hard to see around because you got people standing on both sides, and, you're driving from the center. And I think we was stopped or something. One of these boys had jumped off, and he was completely drunk, and, just hammered. And I think I don't know if he got up on the tire or was leaning up on the tire, but all of a sudden, the lane that started moving, after we sat there for a minute, and all of a sudden you hear these people start screaming. I mean, just going ballistic. I'm like, what is going on? And I get up and I go over to the rail and I look down. My 23-1 tire has went a full rotation over this boy that was leaned up on the tire. The tire is sitting on top of him.
No way.
I thought we killed him. No doubt.
Holy shit.
And by the time the tire got back off of him, he limped his way out of there.
Oh
hopped back
my
up there.
God,
but he was so
dude.
drunk he didn't really feel it.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously he
adrenaline
felt
pumping.
It.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the next day, dude, he had the tire marks on his
I'm
body.
sure he did.
And
he had the spade tread on him, dude.
Yeah, dude. And he was on crutches after that for a week or 2
Dude,
weeks.
this one you owned it?
No, this one's
Zach.
Zach still.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, dude. He was just hammered. I don't even know how he was still on the tire when it made a full rotation. I don't know if he was sitting on it or leaned up on it.
Something, yeah.
But-
Jesus.
But yeah, we thought we killed him on that, and that was pretty wild
Yeah.
for him to survive that
That's
deal.
just something you don't forget, right?
Oh, holy
Yeah.
shit,
Never.
man.
I mean, right in the middle of everybody too, right in the lane.
Oh my God. It's probably a good thing it was in the middle of everybody because you might have just sat there even longer. You
No
know?
shit.
Did you ever find out who it was?
The kid?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of our buddies from back home in Punta Gorda.
He wasn't mad about it.
No, dude, he was just.
Do we know who it was?
Nah, y'all never
No.
met him. He's a semi-driver now, actually.
Gotcha.
Shit happens.
Well, I will finish this out with my first event. I can't even remember the age I was. I didn't have a driver's license, I don't believe. My buddy Tanner, his dad owned a car lot back in the day, and he used to buy and sell anything. His dad's a little hustler. Tanner's the same way. But his dad had actually acquired a 2.5-ton square body. Looking back, I can kind of tell what it was. It was a 2.5-ton square body mega truck on some 14.9s or something, bigger truck, coilovered. And his dad had got a sticker put on it for the name of the car lot. And he wanted to go drive it out there on a Saturday. And this was a May event. I'll never forget it. And I begged my parents. And the only way they let me go is because his dad was gone. So we went out there and rode around, and me and Tanner in the bed of that thing. And then we met up with the Coleus family, Mike, with the Yeti. And me and Tanner hopped on the Yeti, and we never got off of it for the rest of the day. Went to the airboat races. I mean, this was back when the Yeti had a bed full of people. But, I mean, that's when it started for me, man, is we got in Maine, and, I mean, the feeling you got of being so high up. And back then, there wasn't that many mega trucks. So we were one of the only ones out there bogging. And back then, Mike had a bed stack, so anytime he pushed the gas pedal, we were getting covered. Tanner actually, I think, burned his leg, whole side of his leg on the stack.
He welded that cage around
yeah,
it.
after that. This was before the cage.
Yeah.
And, dude, I had an amazing time. We only stayed for Saturday. We actually tried to hide from his dad in the Yeti because we're like, he'll never find us. This is a huge park. And his dad ended up calling Mike, and then Mike, without us knowing, drove us back to where we had unloaded, and so we had to go home and whatever. But I remember going to high school the next day and feeling like the biggest badass walking through the hallways. Everyone's like, you went to Redneck Yacht Club? It was like, no way, But after that event, man, it set me on the trajectory of like, man, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. This is what I want to build. So,
Dude, I wish we could get Michael on here right now, or Mike.
I would love to get Mike. He said he would do it too. I'd like to go post up at his porch and film it just because his property is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
I
100%.
built the monkey cage.
Yeah, for his monkeys and all the exotic animals.
No,
but
we were supposed to go there, wasn't it, this weekend?
this weekend, I just got to finalize some things with Michael.
Yeah.
Pool's not done, so it's going to be a lake party.
No, because I remember
They
him
got a
saying.
nice dock.
Yeah, they got a nice dock.
Oh,
Michael did
good
say there is a
jumping
gator in the lake right now.
Oh,
so
that's fine. A hammer solves that.
But big shout out to Mike, man. Without him having a mega
OG.
truck in our hometown, I don't know if I'd ever been into this. So it's actually a blessing and a curse because he has cursed me with years of spending a shitload of money.
for sure.
And also shout out to the Redneck Yacht Club. This is our farewell to it, man. I don't think we're probably ever going to be talking this heavy about it again.
For a lifetime of memories right there.
We got a lifetime of memories, and hopefully it motivated a lot of kids out there. And I know it did for me. So
Now it's just dragon tails and potato sack races.
I hope all this gets back to them eventually.
And upside down-
They listen, buddy.
I'm
They
posting
listen.
it right on their page. So
You got to have upside down pineapples too.
I hope, they have,
At your camp.
slanging.
Don't forget your upside down pineapples, everybody.
I hope the Kelly brothers actually hear this and come to second thoughts about what's
Yeah,
going on. Man.
Dave's kids, I think, were
I'm
pretty
sure
heavy
they're
into it.
already probably kicking themselves after
Well,
the response they
yeah.
got.
Maybe
Oh,
I haven't
yeah.
hit
It's-
up Miss Kelly. You know?
Yeah, you know
If the
someone in
money-
the family.
If the
Maybe,
money is
maybe.
there, it is there.
The
Yeah,
money
I
was
think-
there. I don't see how that was
See,
even the problem.
That is what I
think
that
it
is
was.
my problem too, because you could put on even just an event in between the two events a year and make a whole nother
Oh, yeah, a whole nother.
3-5 million.
We used to sit
right
there and
there
add
off
up all the
one
ticket
weekend.
prices. I mean, dude,
$100 a head at 10,000.
they used to fly in a helicopter.
120.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Dude, they used
Yeah.
to fly in a helicopter to pick up the cash because it was cash at the gate. I mean,
Oh,
that just
really?
showed. Oh, you don't remember
yeah.
that?
No.
Mr.
Mr.
Kelly
Kelly,
used to
yeah.
fly in on a helicopter, land at the front. They'd pick up all the cash from the gate and fly out of there.
I believe it.
And
I
that's
didn't
how
know
you knew
that.
they were making some money.
Well, they didn't have
you
nowhere
know?
else to put it out there. Where they could
Yeah.
stick in a little box for
Yeah.
somebody to rob them.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
me and Taylor, we'd see him all the time. He'd fly right in. You know,
Couple trips
I
a
never
day.
knew
Yeah.
that. Wow.
I remember one old RYC event they actually canceled because Mr. Kelly got injured on one of those it's got
A
the
gyrocopter.
yeah gyrocopter. He wrecked on the property and they canceled the whole weekend.
Yeah.
But back then it was so small it didn't really
Yeah.
affect that many people. You know.
One of
But,
those smaller $45 ticket
Yeah,
events.
yeah, like $45 ticket. I think that's how much it cost when I first went there.
Yep,
Was $45 bucks.
Yep.
Yep, right. And they didn't have Thursday; it was only Friday.
Yep.
You know.
And we had talked about this for a long time too, Charlie, that we like it so much. It wouldn't matter what
We
the
did. We
ticket
talked about this
costs.
last night.
We'd still
It
go.
wouldn't matter what the ticket costs. It could cost $200
$200
for the weekend.
I think
I'd pay
you'd
it.
still have people going.
I'd pay it.
Yeah, I'd
I
pay
mean,
it.
the last event I went to, I paid for a
One
ticket,
day.
and I would not even. I was there for what? Because I had a flight the next morning.
Yeah, you were
there a
I was
couple
there a
hours.
couple
For 5
hours,
hours,
and I got held up
tops.
for friggin' an hour or two at the gate, and it still is gonna piss me off till this day.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
But it was just the fact that you couldn't leave without making an appearance there because you knew.
You knew,
exactly,
yeah.
That's
literally.
what you
They
had
are
to do.
throwing
I had
away.
a flight the next morning at like 5-6 a.m. and I still wanted to be dedicated and go. And I'm kind of glad I did because that was
That's
the last event.
That's
I'm
I'd
so
ever
glad
been
I
to.
went too. Honestly,
Yep.
I would
got
be.
to see it one last time.
I'd be pretty pissed at myself if I wouldn't have went.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't really do much other than have
Break a buggy.
Yeah, somebody's buggy break. You know, Blue's Clues.
I had no intention of that either, but it's just crazy the reputation this place has built up to let it go out like this.
I know,
mean,
man. Not graceful at all, in my opinion. It's kind of a cop out.
It ain't like it's just a few people from Punta Gorda that
No.
you know that's
No.
put this thing
No.
on. I mean, you got
No.
people from all over the
And,
country. for
and
this
you guys
place.
probably don't know this. Taylor
Oh.
might have heard me say it before. They used to have a radio show dedicated to Redneck Yacht Club.
They
Back in
had
the day.
commercials. They
Yeah,
always had
man.
commercials for
Everywhere,
every
man.
event.
I used to see billboards. And
If you go into Dixie Roadhouse right now, they got a big banner up there:
Yep.
Redneck Mud Park, Redneck
Yep.
Yacht
Yeah.
Club. You know, whatever.
back there was an old ATV shop down in Naples called Cypress Cycle. And he had an old flyer from when it was Redneck Yacht Club, and it was. Just, I hope he still has it.
I still have some stuff like that.
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
have magazines and
Yep,
Trucks
yep.
Gone Wild magazines.
I used to
and
have
stuff.
a Redneck Yacht Club sticker on my old truck.
Yeah.
You know. But-
Which reminds me, I used to remember like the Rick Ball group and
Yep,
all that.
yep. OGs.
There would be Minnesota boys that would
yeah,
come down
the
for
Minnesota
every event.
guys. They used to party on the roof of their RV,
Yes,
bro.
they would come down all. They would
Remember?
drive.
I don't
all,
know if you were. Yeah, you probably.
I don't
do.
know how long a Minnesota drive is, but
Oh,
they
it's
drove
long.
down for every event,
Yeah.
and you could tell like they were from Minnesota. They
Minnesota.
had the accent.
They
and
were
all, and
pale as a ghost.
They
you know,
loved the
farmer's
place.
tan.
They loved the place so much they always wanted to come
Dude,
back.
I just remember every night they'd be sitting on top of the roof of that RV.
Yeah, good times.
Good people, man. But I think we're going to sign out here, guys.
It's a
Rest
sad-
in peace, Redneck
sad
Yacht
day.
Club.
Sad day for
It's
the
a sad
Redneck.
week, man. But happy 4th.
Yeah, 4th of July is tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Everybody be safe. No drinking and driving. No boating and drinking and driving.
Water buggy.
Yeah,
no
be
water-
careful on the water buggies out there.
No
Yeah.
BUIs.
And I hope you
Stay
get if you
safe.
got a mega truck, I hope you get to drive it
This
because
is- it'll
we're
be-
a dying breed.
It'll be
Yeah.
the 14th before this pod gets released.
No,
but,
no, no.
You know.
Guaranteed.
I'm gonna edit tomorrow. Hopefully, hold me
yeah.
to it.
Uh-huh.
Now
When I
that-
get off the boat.
Now that RYC is canceled, the mega won't be done till like Christmas time.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
You know, it should be. He already said it's not going to Iron Horse.
If it's
Taylor's
done,
truck will be done like next week, and then somebody's truck's gonna
This
be
guy
like.
said he's
hey
not going
man,
to
you
Iron
gotta
Horse.
No,
you want to
no,
loan
he's
me a couple
misquoting
grand? I'll
me.
get it done next
Oh,
week.
I know. You're gonna have it done.
Where are
soon.
you
I
going?
know
Are you
that.
going to Iron Horse?
If my truck's done,
if my truck's done,
Your truck should be running by this week, though.
who?
His.
Oh, he needs a starter just like I do.
That's
Yeah.
that's an easy swap.
yeah, I had a C6 starter in there. She just spins straight up.
All right, y'all. Well,
All right.
it's a good pod.
This is it, huh?
This is it.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. RYC.
Peace and chicken grease.
Later.
Peace.